Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Waiting for reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Of course.
Prepare.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, waiting for acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Affirmative.
Prepared.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Building.
Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Prepared.
Yes, sir.
Unit prepared.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Unit prepared.
Reporting.
Prepared.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir.
Preparing. Unit prepared. Select target. Unit ready. Building. Reinforcements have arrived. Select target. Insufficient funds.
Awaiting orders. Of course. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Of course. Ready and waiting. Awaiting orders.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Agreed. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Waiting call reporting.
40 minutes remaining.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Waiting for acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Training. Building.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Spy plane.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Construction.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Select target. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Very well. At once. Yes, sir. At once. Yes, sir. At once. Agreed. Affirmative. At once. Of course. Of course. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Of course. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very well. Very well. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Waiting orders.
Lost.
Very well. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Very well. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Very well. Affirmative.
Silence.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit ready. Building. On hold. Cancel.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Awaiting
Spy
orders.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Prepared. Unit prepared.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle report. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged.
For centuries we have waited to emerge from the
Waiting
shadows, and
order.
now we will make ourselves known.
Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silence needed.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Silence needed.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Do not return.
Acknowledged.
30
Affirmative.
bullets remaining.
Affirmative.
If you fail,
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
do not return.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Silence
Acknowledged.
needed.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Acknowledged.
Silence needed.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Vehicle report. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Ready and waiting. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Silence
Acknowledged.
needed.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Silence
Acknowledged.
needed.
Affirmative. Waiting orders.
Lost.
Affirmative.
Silos needed.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Select target. Reinforcements have arrived. Unit lost.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Silos needed. Unit lost. Unit lost. Silos needed.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Building. Silos needed.
Vehicle
Waiting
reporting.
order. Affirmative.
Select target. Unit ready. Building. Select target. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting.
Silos
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Vehicle
Yes, sir.
reporting.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Comrade. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Report. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative.
Spy plane ready.
Reporting. Very well. Report
Silos
affirmative.
needed.
Acknowledged.
Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Select target. Reinforcements have arrived. Construction complete.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Very well. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Of course. Reporting. Yes, sir.
Unit lost. Building.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Affirmative. At once.
Unit ready. Spy plane ready. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Building.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Reporting.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Comrade. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle report. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Comrade.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Vehicle acknowledged.
Spy plane. ready.
Affirmative.
Select target. Unit ready.
Comrade. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Spy plane ready. Select target.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Silos needed.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Silos
Yes, sir.
needed.
Affirmative.
Silos
Acknowledged.
needed.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Report
Construction
affirmative.
complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Comrade, yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Construction
Waiting
complete.
order. Affirmative.
Building.
Report acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Comrade. Comrade. Acknowledged.
Spy
Affirmative.
plane ready. Unit repaired. Repairing. Unit repaired. Repairing. Select target. Reinforcements have arrived. Unit repaired. Repairing. Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Comrade.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Comrade. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative.
Comrade. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting.
Strike lane
Affirmative.
ready. Select target.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.